Hi, I'm Cathal Fitzpatrick from VMware. Artificial intelligence is becoming an essential tool for communication service providers as they struggle to manage their increasingly complex radio access networks, or RANs. VMware's RAN Intelligent Controller, or RIC, is a platform that allows operators to harness the power of AI to manage their networks using applications provided by members of our RIC Developer Partner Program. Edinburgh-based NetAI is one such company, and I'm delighted to be joined today by their CEO, Paul Patras, and my colleague, Rakesh Misra, to discuss how NetAI's applications and VMware's RIC work together to help operators to better manage their RAN. You're very welcome, both very welcome to today's call. So Paul, maybe to start with you, can you give us some background into NetAI and how you work in the RAN space?
Well, it's good to see you again, and Rakesh, and yeah, happy to speak about NetAI. So NetAI is a network intelligence company. We develop software that essentially helps mobile network operators unlock the value of their intelligent networks. So we do that through some unique capability we have in terms of neural engines that provide real-time and predictive insights into mobile network usage and performance. And we build a range of applications on top of these technologies that look at optimizing allocation of resources, energy consumption, quality of experience, and so on.
Very good. And what applications have you built on the VMware RIC, and how do they benefit operators?
So we primarily build three core applications. One of them we call Energize. I should say all of them sort of build on this forecasting engine that we have, which is in a way unique because it performs forecasting at city scale, and we train it in a unique fashion so that we try to reduce underestimation errors so that the decisions that result from using those insights do not impact the quality of service while, let's say, doing resource auto-scaling or doing control of radio frequency resources. So with that, we have Energize, which is basically building on forecasting to control the number of radio frequency resources so as to reduce energy consumption without impacting service quality. We have Exascaler, which uses a similar forecasting logic, but to load balance the compute resources needed to serve a disaggregated RAN. And then DeepQoE, which looks at anticipating the quality of experience perceived by various users in a deployment.
Very good. And Rakesh, what do you find really exciting about NetAI's technology?
Yeah, thanks, Cathal, and thanks, Paul, for joining us. First of all, I'd like to mention that we have been partnering with NetAI for over 2 years now, and it has been a very fruitful partnership. So thank you, Paul and team, for the excellent collaboration so far. Cathal, with the whole premise of the RIC is that, by opening up the RAN to the ecosystem, we can greatly accelerate the pace of innovation. And NetAI is a great example of the innovation that can happen when we open up the RAN to the larger industry. What I find most exciting about NetAI are two things. One, like Paul mentioned, the AI-based forecasting engine that they have is probably the most unique that I have seen. Not just in terms of the technology that goes behind it, but in terms of the wide applicability it has. So the AI-based forecasting engine itself could be a quote-unquote producer app, and the outputs of that engine can be used by a variety of other apps that are running on the RIC, not just those that come from NetAI themselves, but also from the broader industry. And the Exascaler app that Paul mentioned, I think that is probably the only app in our ecosystem that straddles across the RAN and core domains. Right. Most apps, in fact, all other apps that we have in our ecosystems are those that would read measurements from the RAN and optionally make some changes in the RAN itself. So in ORAN terminology, we call it O1 read and O1 write. So O1 based control. But the Exascaler is a very innovative application that straddles across RAN and cloud domains. It would read measurements over RAN, but then it will use the insights from the forecasting to make changes at the cloud layer in terms of auto-scaling the network functions, right? So in O-RAN terminology, this would be O1 read and O2 write, right? O2 based control. So I think those are, a couple of very exciting aspects about the work that we're doing with NetAI.
And how does our RIC support AI-based applications such as those provided by NetAI?
Yeah, the RIC platform is expected to be an enabler for AI/ML applications. What it means is that when any developer builds AI/ML applications, there are a set of common steps that need to be performed by any AI/ML based application. So instead of having to require each developer to develop those capabilities redundantly and independently, the platform can provide those common AI/MLs, functions as services.
Mm-hmm.
And the applications would simply consume them as APIs. So as part of our RIC, we are building a variety of AI/ML services, starting from ingesting and distributing the data to sanitizing the data and creating various KPIs and doing further processing of the data, to doing ML model management, to doing helping with AI/ML model inference, to helping with the continuous operations of the AI/ML model. So all of these stages, there are a suite of services that we are developing as part of the platform, so that the application developers could simply consume them as APIs instead of having to redundantly implement each of them.
Very good. And Paul, how do you see the market for AI-based RAN applications developing, and what are the barriers to operators adopting this technology?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's two elements here. So according to various analysts, the market for AI networking is projected to exceed $10 billion by 2028. But there are barriers indeed, as you correctly pointed out. So one is to do with the infrastructure capabilities that an operator might have. So the ability to train a neural model on site if they don't want the data to leave their private cloud. Second is to do with skills. So oftentimes some of the engineering teams there need to be upskilled to be able to, understand machine learning, understand how the integration would work, what's needed, what data sanitation means, and so on. And the third one, it's probably to do with explainability. So because network infrastructure now is kind of becoming critical infrastructure to some extent, there is a desire to understand what those neural networks are doing. So they're not really seen as black boxes that do some, especially when you close the loop on the insights, when you have some decision logic, you want to understand why a decision was made based on a certain input. And that's still an open area of research by the various communities, including academic and research communities in the industry.
Very good. So this is really
one thing I add,
yep.
Just building on that final point that Paul mentioned, another barrier I would add is just the culture and mindset. At least in my experience, I have seen that operators are very averse to letting software touch their network or run their network, leave alone AI run their network. So I think there is a little bit of that cultural barrier that we need to cross as well. And the AI explainability is one way in which we can help inspire some confidence in AI models.
So this topic is obviously really interesting to operators right now. So Paul, are there any upcoming events where mobile operators will be able to meet you and learn more about your technology?
Indeed, yes. So we will be actually doing some demos at the Digital Transformation World, which is hosted by TM Forum in Copenhagen in June. I'll be speaking as well at the AI for Good Summit in Geneva next week. And I will also be attending the London Tech Week also in June. We're not doing demos there, but if people are attending and want to find out more about NetAI, they should reach out, and I'm happy to explain more about what we do.
Well, best of luck in those events. So if anyone watching wants to learn more about NetAI, please visit their website, and you can learn about the VMware RIC also by visiting our website. So please check out all the information that's provided there. So thank you, Paul and Rakesh, for joining us today, and best of luck at the upcoming events, Paul. Take care.
Thanks very much. Yeah.
Thanks for hosting us. Thanks, Paul.